So in a take from, or sort of in addition to the infrastructure discussion that we talked about a little earlier, um, I want to talk about those infrastructures, the decentralized infrastructures, and how that correlates to intrinsic and extrinsic motivators. Um, so a lot of the research that I did on this started with the personal development, started in the personal development arena. And Tony Robbins is somebody who I admire and really respect his work. I mean, he's an amazing instructor. I've had a chance to learn quite a bit from him over the years. And he talks about something called the six basic needs. The six basic needs that we all have are certainty, uncertainty, significance, love and connection, growth, and contribution. So love and connection is one together. And he talks about if you satisfy any three of these basic needs, you'll create an addictive pattern or addictive behavior behind it. And some of those aren't good, some of those are good. But the bottom line is that we are motivated at a very fundamental level. You can start breaking almost all actions down to that. So, extrinsically versus intrinsically, right? We talk about those topics of motivation. Extrinsically is the material goods, the wealth, the dollars that we all pursue. And what's very interesting is that a guy named Daniel Pink wrote a book called Drive that speaks to extrinsic motivating factors and the limit at which they quit performing. Right? So there is a dollar limit. There's a performance to dollar equation that says after a certain dollar amount, the performance you get out of somebody doesn't keep going up. So wealth has a cap relative to productivity of individuals. In the U.S., I think he put that number right about $70,000 or $72,000, somewhere right about there. After that, wealth does not create more productivity. It doesn't create more happiness. Is really the root that he got at. And what he said is, well, what do you do beyond that? How do you get to the intrinsic side of things, or maybe how do you get to it? But how do you get more productivity out of somebody? And that's where he gets into the intrinsic motivators. And there's a couple models of intrinsic motivating or intrinsic motivators that I followed in this design. One is by Daniel Pink, and the other is by a video game. Let's say a video game producer, a woman who's in the gaming space, who's I think a genius, Jane McGonigal. She's done a couple TED Talks on this, but she talks about intrinsic motivators as well, and has sort of four tenets. Daniel Pink kind of has three. And Daniel Pink's, to my recollection, I hope I'm not butchering this right now, is passion, purpose, mastery. At least that's how I remembered it. So there's got to be passion in what we do. We're going to be seeking purpose, and we're seeking mastery. And if you create an environment that allows those kind of qualities and allows those things to be pursued, you engage that person and you get that additional level of productivity out of them. Say you get it out of them if we're trying to control them, or you see it in the system that they're wanting to participate in. So very, very cool stuff on that front. And then on the game world, Jane's kind of got four tenets that I'm actually going to pull up here quick, because I always seem to kind of screw up one of them in the middle of this.